What? No, not the mind probe.
Hello, it's Luke from Word Tweak, and today we're going to have a look at the 13th Doctor's final adventure, the Centenary special. This was teased at the end of the Easter special, The Legend of the Sea Devils, and that was absolutely pathetic. That was terrible. Really, really bad episode in pretty much every way. If you disagree, let me know in the comments. But I thought I'd do a bit of a breakdown on this little teaser that they've put out. As we see, we open with Nothing is Forever. Obviously the Doctor, played by Jodie Whittaker, is a bit sad about, looking at the end of her run, as anyone would when they're facing death. Whether she's conscious of this, aware of this, kind of assumed by the monologue that she's sort of ruminating on not the opportunity, but the inevitability of her regenerating. Which, if you don't know, a Doctor or a Time Lord, when they face death or near death, they have an ability where they can regenerate, and that's how the TV show has innovated with a new show lead every couple of years, and it's been used and abused, and we're at that stage yet again. Yeah, nice earring. We've got Daleks, so they're the Time War era Daleks, nice gold boys from 2005, presumably. We've got Ashard, the Cyberman leader from a previous season of Doctor Who starring Jodie Whittaker. This greasy boy really needs to get his mask fixed. I'm surprised that they haven't done that yet for him. Really curious to see what they do with the Cybermen, if they're facing off with the Daleks and what's going on there. So that's really interesting. And we've got the Master. We've got the Sacha Dhawan Master. This is the unshaved Master. I presume this is going to be a bit of a spin. He might be a good Master. He might be more of a, there's one speculation rumour about this Master being potentially straight after Missy, even though it was implied that Missy died a final death and didn't regenerate. There's some speculation that Missy somehow regenerated, or the Master that followed from her when he regenerated might have become him, but that makes no sense because Missy was the sort of almost redeemed Master, whereas the John Sim Master was always anti-Doctor, pro-kill Doctor, so that doesn't really make sense. But anyway, this is a shaved Master. We don't know anything about him. He looks a bit worried, a bit concerned, and we're not sure if that's because he's being sarcastic or if he is, in fact, a good Master. We'll see. And she looks a bit worried. Interestingly, this is Tegan. This is a companion from the 5th Doctor's era. She was an air stewardess, and she wanted to go back to Heathrow Airport to do a dream job, and the Doctor back in that time wasn't very good at using the TARDIS to get to where it needed to go, and she initially got fed up. There was a high death count in one of their adventures, and she just went, "No, I'm out, I'm done." And we haven't heard from her since. On screen, there's been stories, obviously, with Big Finish productions and other media, but it's not clear where she ties in with the on-screen canon, and I guess we'll find out. I like to think that she's joined a group of former companions, almost like a club of people with trauma who resent the Doctor for the time they spent with him or her, and that maybe Tegan's the bad guy, maybe Tegan's a villain. Well, who knows? And she's obviously on a phone call with Ace, who was a companion of the 7th Doctor, Sylvester McCoy. And again, it's not clear where she fits in with the on-screen TV canon in this run of Doctor Who, but she's also had her fair share of adventures in various media, novels, audio stories, etc. So really not sure. There was like a promo trailer thing a while ago that talked about her being part of like a charitable Earth foundation, so maybe they're going to make that a thing. But yeah, who knows? Who knows? maybe she also wants to kill the Doctor. And look at that. They got guns, which is really weird. They're like in a room with a map on the wall. Those kinds of assault rifles are typically used by UNIT, the Unified Intelligence Task Force, which used to be called the United Nations Intelligence Task Force, but they obviously changed that in the 2005 run of Doctor Who because, political reasons potentially. Interesting that you've got two former companions using guns. Not the first time we've seen this sort of thing, but what are they shooting at? Are they shooting at the audience? Are they fed up with the anti-Whittaker stuff, and they're just like, take this? And we probably won't even see the scene in the special. This is just a special bonus clip just to mess with the fans. I don't even think we're going to see this in the special, but we'll see. We'll see. Let's go back a step. That was Kate. That was the daughter of Brigadier Lethbridge Stewart, who ironically also was kind of dug up and turned into a Cyberman and went on to help Peter Capaldi's Doctor. Maybe he's in this and he wants his daughter to be also converted so they can sort of do adventures together and save the world and save the universe from threats, as you can only do it in the Cyberman persona. So I think it's pretty clear here that she's going to be converted, so that's exciting. That was Dan, the soup guy. Interestingly, in the Legend of the Sea Devils, he had a quick phone call with his friend. I think her name's Di, and I think he's going to die. I think that's more of foreshadowing about what's going to happen to Dan, because he hasn't really done much. He likes cans of soup. He knows a little bit about history, which was a good thing that came out of dialogue in Legend of the Sea Devils. He actually was able to contribute in a conversation that was related to history. Aside from that, he's only really had stupid quips and banging Sontarans on the head with frying pans, that sort of nonsense. So I think Dan's going to die here. That's Vinder. He was rumoured to be a incarnation of the Doctor. There's a whole bunch of speculation about who Vinder is. He's just a dude. I think he's the replacement for Captain Jack, because Captain Jack got blacklisted by the BBC for on-set antics from years ago. And we get Vinder, who, boring guy with gun, who's got a girlfriend. Maybe Vinder will actually turn out to be a future incarnation of the Doctor. Who knows? Now, Yaz. Absolutely no chemistry established between her and the Doctor. It's only been forced in recent episodes, particularly the last special, because they've kind of run into a corner here, and they're like, "Whoa, we've got this companion, we've got these characters, we've not done any, we've done minimal characterization, minimal development. What are we going to do with her? Okay, well, let's just make her a romantic love interest for the Doctor. Cool." And it's as awkward and silly as you can expect it to be. It's actually a slap in the face for all of the previous companions who actually did something and actually earned respect. So, you've got Clara, she did a lot of things. Rose did a lot of things. There's a whole bunch of companions who did, who actually did things and earned, if you look at merit, on terms of merit, there's a whole bunch of companions who have contributed to saving lives, to doing all sorts of things that actually have worldwide, universe-wide ramifications. With Yaz, I don't know, I'm yet to see an example of something that's like the equivalent of like a Rose moment or of a Clara moment. So that's why the audience, i.e. me, is not really invested or engaged in this storyline. I think it's a very weak storyline. If they really wanted to go down this route, they should have established it better in previous seasons, and it should have been handled way better, because it's just, I don't know, it's just clunky and it just doesn't work for me. I like the character of Yaz. I just think that we haven't seen enough characterization of the core TARDIS team to allow these kinds of stories to flourish, unfortunately. What we're seeing is a trend of guest stars coming in and sort of, they get quite a bit, quite often, the guest stars get a better run than the main cast do, which is just strange, and it's hurting. And we're seeing this now. Look at that. What did we miss just before? Blue sparky lights. Oh, okay, it's just a Dalek doing the sparky thing. So maybe someone can actually blow up a Dalek, which is pretty cool. Is that Ace's jacket? It is. You can see the A. So, okay, so we're going to do the Remembrance of the Daleks kind of homage where she's like beating the crap out of a Dalek with a baseball bat. So we're probably seeing something similar here. She might even have some Nitro 9. Although it'd be a bit strange for her to be so close to the Dalek if she's using Nitro 9 because it's a bomb. But that's cool. So going back to my earlier theory, we've got a bearded master. Maybe it's an homage to that classic story that Moffat wrote, where you've got, the master falls down a trap and then he spends thousands of years trying to work his way back up, and then, he ages. I think it's plausible that there's a time jump here. This is a time travel show. Maybe this is the bad master. Maybe this is a master who's been dealing with some things for a long period of time, and he's kind of gone insane. I like the idea that the clean-shaven master is sort of with it, may even be friendly and helpful for the Doctor, and then something happens along the way where the master sort of reverts to a sort of insane, unhinged persona. If they do that, it'd be good for them to actually explain that properly, because we've previously had good master stories where they've explained in detail, or like justified and demonstrated why the master, like his motivation basically. So we've seen examples of done before and done really well. I think there's a concern here where if this story doesn't play out as well as previous master stories, particularly, when they had the Missy Master thing, if it can't top that, then we're in big trouble, because you can't really bring back a character unless you can somehow elevate the previous performance or do something to the story that's going to just take it to the next level. And I have concerns. I don't think it's going to be able to. But, I might be pleasantly surprised. I think this is actually going to be a fake out. I don't think the Doctor's going to regenerate. My theory, and I think the marketing is playing a big role in this, I think because they know that the show's unpopular, they know that people are generally, and I'm speaking with no evidence to back it up, I'm just going by comments that I've seen online, which is probably not the best way to gauge this, but I have a feeling that the Doctor's not going to regenerate. I think she's going to somehow stave it off, because the Doctor's done that in the past. I think this might be a bit of a fake out. I don't think she's going to regenerate. I think we're going to be stuck with her for quite some time. I think they're going to go back on a few official statements and actually keep her in as the Doctor, and they're just going to make some other changes to the show. So unfortunately, I think we're going to be stuck for her for quite some time. What do you think? Tell me in the comments. And yeah, that's that was the Legends of the Sea Devils promo, which is just, it was so bad. Anyway, that's all from me today. Let me know what you think. Are you excited for the special? What do you want to see? Do you agree with what I've said? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think I'm silly? Are you sick of these kinds of videos that YouTubers put out where they just blatantly talk about crap and they just have to have a comment on everything and they've got to have these opinions? Let me know. Do tell me. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.